Hello everybody and welcome back to my discord.py bot tutorial. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful day, and today we're going to be diving in a little bit more in depth and just, initializing our bot, but it's not going to be anything too complicated that we cover today, but it's going to be some basic grounds that I think is important to have in your bot. And what that is the onReady event. So inside of the Discord module, there's something called events that happen inside of Discord. This could be a member leaving, and I'll leave documentation to Python all below. You can check out all the events. This could be a member leaving, a member joining, a message being deleted, a role being added. There are countless, probably like 40, 50 different events that you can listen for. But one of the main ones that you'll see in almost any bot is the onReady event. So what this does is, you can probably guess, when the bot is ready or when it's online, it'll do whatever you tell it to. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Oh yeah, by the way, this is going to be the end product. This is what we're going for. This is how I like to format everything that gets logged into the console. You don't have to do it this way, but this is how I'm going to be doing it. So if you want it to look like this, obviously you can change these colors. It doesn't have to be these exact colors. I'll leave documentation to the module that we're using to change the colors inside of the console, so you can see all the different colors they have and what you can do with it. But this is what we're going to be doing. If you don't want this, that's fine, not a huge deal, but follow along if you like it to look like this. So in order to get our console to have different colors, we can't just print a single string because that'll just come out as the default color. So what we need to do is import this module called Colorama. So you're just going to write from Colorama, we're going to import back for and style, which are the three different methods that we're going to be using to manipulate the text inside the console. Then also we're going to need to import time and import platform. So the time module is just going to allow us to get the exact time, because your console is kind of like your logging. So if you can look at your console and look at the exact time of when something happened. So this all happened at the 22nd hour, the 48th minute, and the 4th second of when that event happened in UTC time zone. Obviously, you can alter it with time zones, look into the documentation for that, or if you just simply want to just take the UTC time and add or subtract hours from it, that's completely fine. But I'm just using UTC just because it's the universal time. So let's get into this. So in order to initialize an event, instead of calling at client.command, what we're actually going to do is do at client.event. And then we're going to do async def onReady. And for for an event, you actually don't have to pass anything. So you shouldn't have parentheses right after an event because there's nothing you can really pass to it. And it'll actually give you an error if you leave those parentheses in. Yeah, so onReady, you don't need to pass anything inside of the onReady because there's nothing that we really need to listen for. Okay. So inside of this onReady, the first thing that we're going to do is create something that I'm going to call prefix, or I'm just going to shorten it to prfx. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this in real quick, and I'll explain to you all what this means. It might look daunting to you, but trust me, it's very, very simple. So I'm creating a variable, and what that variable is going to be equal to is it's equal to what you see in dark green. So what this is so pretty much how this module works is, instead of printing out something and say, hey, I want this to be black, or I want this to be bold, whatever you want it, however you want the text to appear, you don't declare it right after the word. What you do is you pretty much initialize how you want the console to look, and then you put the text on top. So what that means is, so it's going to be back.black, which initializes the background of it as black. As you can see, this black background, plus for.green, which stands for background and stands for foreground. And so the text is actually going to be green, plus time.strf time, which pretty much takes two times it takes a time and puts it into a certain format, if that makes sense. If you don't understand how it works, it's not a huge deal. Just put this down, and then what you do is you put the format you want it in, and then you put the actual time that you're going to pass. So time.gm time passes this really long, kind of ugly long number that you won't really understand, or anyone will really understand. So if you put this strf time and then you put the format you want it in, and you can search up different arguments you can use for the format, but %h is going to give you the hour and military hours. %m is going to give you the minutes, %s is going to be the seconds, and you just put UTC after it because that is the time zone that .gm time gives you. And then obviously there's a colon between to make it look pretty and formatted. And then we're going to do back.reset, which just resets the background, because before we had a black background. So if we reset it, then that puts it back to its original, which in this case is nothing. So back.reset plus 4.white, which as you can see, these words are white, plus style.bright. So there's a style. All the style.bright is just bold. I think there's style.bright. I think there's something you can pass for italics and stuff like that. So that's what the style is. So yeah, pretty much we're going to put this in front of every single thing that gets put in the console, because we're putting the time in the console, and then we're also declaring the next thing as being a bolded white with no background. So in order to get this first message, we want to, because right now we just made it as a variable, we want to actually put that prefix on the screen. So we do print prfx, that's what we called it, plus. So plus we want to put logged in as, because that's those white words, logged in as. And I'm going to put a space in front of here just so there isn't these values aren't touching. Logged in as, and put another space, and do plus 4 dot yellow. I think it's all caps. Should be, oh sorry, 4 is not caps, like that 4 dot yellow. So this will put in the prefix, then it'll put logged in as in the bright white that we declared back here, and then it'll keep the same settings, but it'll change the foreground to be yellow. And then you say plus client dot user dot name, I think is what it is. Let me check real quick. Yep, so it's client.user.name, so that would literally just pass in whatever the bot's name it is. So if you put in a token for a bot that leads to a bot name mybot, then it'll put in mybot here. It's whatever your client username is. So that'll be the first line, and that should be everything covered. And you don't have to print exactly what I'm printing in. Obviously, every time you run it, you don't need to know the bot ID, but I just like to print all this in every time I run the bot. But it's not mainly about what I'm actually printing in, but it's about the basics of how to format the console and make it look prettier, and kind of declare that format for the rest of your code, if that makes sense. So if you want to print anything else into the console, you already have this pre-made for you. You have this prefix variable pre-made, and you know how to manipulate the foreground, the background, and style to do exactly what you want. So the next line, do print, pass in that prefix, and then we're going to do bot ID, bot ID, and then plus, same thing, 4 dot yellow. I know this yellow is kind of an ugly color, and I might change it to be honest, but for now it doesn't look too bad. And then we're going to do client dot user dot ID, and I think we're going to have to change this to a string. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just thinking ahead. I'm thinking that it will give it to us as an integer, but we need to, I'm not sure. You might not need the string. I can test it later if we need it or not, but for now I'm just going to place string in front just in case. And then the next line, actually I'm not sure what the next line is. Let me see. Okay, sorry. So the next thing that we're going to put is the Discord version. So same thing, prefix plus Discord version, change it to yellow, plus we are going to put this is a built-in part of Python that allows you to see what the version of the module that you're using is. So let me just go ahead and write it and show you what I mean. So if you do Discord dot dunder version dunder, I don't know if you have to pass parentheses. You might, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but what that'll do is give you the version of the module Discord that you're using. So it gives you the Discord version. Then we want to print prfx plus Python version, just in case you want to know what the Python version is that you're using. And this is why we imported platform. So you want to change it to yellow, like I said, and then put the string of platform dot, let me see what it was. I don't 100% remember what it was. That's right, platform dot python underscore version, and pass open parentheses. So this should all work unless I've done something wrong, but if you look at the platform documentation, you understand why this works. But platform just takes the platform that you're using and returns the Python version of that. So let's see if I've made any errors. I don't believe I have, but let's see. Okay, there we go. So now on ready, when the bot is online, as you can see, the bot is online, so it has worked. On ready, we've now declared this variable, which changes the background of our console, the foreground of our console, and place in the time that we want. Then it resets it, sets it to white, sets it to bold. Bright is just what they use, but this is bold. And then we're able to use that prefix all through these and give us the name of the bot ID, the Discord version, and the Python version. And again, you can put in whatever you want here. If you literally just want to change the color of the console and say bot is online, that's fine. I just like to put a little more technical values and keep it neat with this prefix, so it looks a lot more professional in my opinion. But yeah, that's how you use the onReady function to see, not a function, that's how you use the onReady event to see when your bot is online, and you're able to print stuff to the console using the Colorama module, which allows you to change the background foreground style of what you're actually printing to the console, which makes it look a lot more professional and cleaner and easier to read on the eye than just printing like this white text into a console. So it makes it look a little bit prettier. You don't have to do this, completely optional, but I like the way it looks. So yep, that's the video. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next videos. I know this again was a pretty beginner video, but I promise in the future we'll be getting into more advanced stuff. I'm planning for this series to last a very long time, at least like 20-30 videos, so don't worry, it will get more advanced as it goes on. But for the first couple of videos, it might be very beginner friendly. If you're not okay with that, just stay tuned. Trust me, it'll get more advanced for some of you advanced users. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time.